The blocks are set. The crowd is locked in. 8 women about to run the most brutal race in track and field, the 100-meter hurdles. 4 Italians, 3 Americans, 1 Cuban, every single one of them hungry. You can see it in their eyes, in the stillness before the gun. Masai Russell has been tearing up every track she touches this season. Akira Armstrong brings speed that few can match. And the Italian squad? 4 of them in this final. That's not an accident. 10 hurdles stand between these women and gold. 1 clipped barrier, 1 bad step, and a whole season disappears. Who has the nerves? Who has the legs? Who rises when it counts? Alaysha Di Lazzaro, Italy, lane 1. She ran 12.91 recently, right on the edge of her personal best, and she's earned her place in this final. Elena Carraro, also Italy, lane 2. She's brought her season best down to 12.84, real improvement this year. Greisys Roble of Cuba in lane 3. She's been running 12.91, and she's got the championship experience to back it up. Giada Carmassi, Italy's national record holder, lane 4. She ran 12.96 in Show de Faune this year. That record makes her one of the most dangerous women in this field, and this crowd knows it. Masai Russell, USA, lane 5. She leads the world this year. She's been the name everyone keeps coming back to all season long, and the speed she's shown has been flat out special. Akira Armstrong, USA, lane 6. Personal best of 12.49, and she's got the credentials to go with it. Alaysha Webster, USA, lane 7. She ran 12.81 this season, and that completes a serious American trio right in the heart of this draw. Veronica Bassana of Italy in lane 8. The 4th Italian in this final, with sub-13 speed and a point to prove on the outside lane. 8 women, 10 hurdles, 1 gold medal. Everything they've done this season comes down to the next 13 seconds. The Americans are loaded, 3 of the fastest women in the world lined up right next to each other. The Italians have 4 in this final, and that kind of national presence on a start line like this doesn't happen by accident. Cuba's Greisys Roble is dangerous over these barriers. Every single one of them knows 1 clipped hurdle can end it right there. There's no margin, no second chance. The blocks are set. The crowd is loud and getting louder. They're settling in now, arms down, head steady, breathing it all in. The atmosphere inside this stadium is as tight as it gets. The gun is coming. 8 of the best hurdlers in the world, and only one of them gets the gold. They're off. Russell out hard, flying over the early hurdles. Armstrong right with her, stride for stride through the opening barriers. Armstrong surges. Russell hits a hurdle. Armstrong wins. Akira Armstrong, 12.53. What an upset. She held it together when Russell started clattering the barriers, kept her form, and pulled away clean. Akira Armstrong is the champion. Armstrong can't believe it. Arms out, pointing to the sky. Pure joy, pure disbelief right there on the track. Russell looked like she had this won through the first 4 hurdles. Then the barrier started coming up and Armstrong took full advantage. Look at this in slow motion. Russell is fast off the blocks, clean and clear through hurdles 1, 2, 3, 4. Real advantage. But watch hurdle 5. She clips the top, loses her rhythm. 6 and 7. She's fighting it and hitting again. Armstrong is clean the whole way, never touches a barrier. Controlled and driving hard. She sees the gap, commits, and by hurdle 8 she's got 2 full meters. The race is done right there. 12.53 confirmed. Armstrong's personal best. Russell, 12.69 silver. Webster, 12.71 bronze. American 1, 2, 3. A complete American sweep. Armstrong, Russell, Webster on the podium. Akira Armstrong was NCAA champion back in 2022. Hasn't raced much internationally since then, but she kept her composure when it mattered and ran 12.53 to take the gold. Armstrong is the champion. Russell went into this race as the favorite, and for about half of it, she looked exactly that. Off the blocks cleanly, over the first 4 hurdles with a rhythm that was close to perfect. You could see why she'd led the world rankings into this final. Then hurdle 5 happened, and the whole race changed. She clipped it, lost the cadence she'd been building. 6 and 7 came up fast, and she hit those too. Once a hurdler breaks that timing pattern, the barriers stop being obstacles you clear and start being problems you manage. Russell was managing. Armstrong was racing. What separates the great hurdlers from the good ones is the ability to keep their stride pattern locked in when everything else is chaos around them. Armstrong did exactly that. From her lane 6 position, she had a clean sightline on Russell, and when Russell started struggling, Armstrong didn't press, she just stayed clean. Every barrier between 5 and 10, Armstrong was over and through without incident. That consistency, when the favorite is falling apart 20 feet away, is harder than it sounds. It takes a particular kind of focus to not respond to what you're seeing in your peripheral vision. The final margin was 0.16 seconds. In sprint hurdles, that's not close. That's a statement. Armstrong crossed in 12.53, Russell in 12.69, and Alaysha Webster in 12.71 for bronze. 3 Americans on the podium, but the story is really about 2 of them, and specifically about what happens when one of them gets the clean race and the other doesn't. Webster's 12.71 is worth a moment. She ran essentially a perfect race, finished just outside her personal best, and it earned her bronze. On another day, with Russell running clean, Webster might have been fighting for silver. Instead, she picked up the pieces of a race that blew up in the middle and ran straight through to the medal. That's a composed performance. The Italian contingent came in with real expectations. 4 athletes in the final, including national record holder Giada Carmassi. Carmassi finished 4th in 12.78, which is solid, but she was the one Italian who came in with legitimate medal ambitions, and she finished behind all 3 Americans. That's not a failure, but it's a clear statement about where the Americans are operating right now at this level. Di Lazzaro and Carraro in lanes 1 and 2 both didn't finish, which is a brutal outcome for the Italian program after getting 4 athletes into a major final. Greisys Roble of Cuba ran 12.98, Veronica Bassana 13.01. Neither was a factor in the front of the race, but Roble's sub-13 has been consistent this season, and she'll be competitive in the rounds of whatever comes next. Armstrong's 12.53 is a fast time. It's not a world record, not close to the world record of 12.12 set by Toby Amuzin, but it's a performance that signals a serious arrival on the international stage. Armstrong's background includes an NCAA title in 2022, and the commentary noted she hadn't been racing much internationally since then. That gap makes this result more interesting, not less. She was developing quietly, and she surfaced here with a winning time under 12.55. That's a different kind of athlete, one who doesn't need the circuit to validate her every few weeks. The women's 100-meter hurdles has been American-dominated at the top for years. Kenny Harrison's world record still stands. Sydney McLaughlin moved to the 400-meter hurdles and became the best ever at that event. The 100-meter flat has seen American depth, but also real international pressure. The 100-meter hurdles is different. The Americans are stacked at every layer, from the college ranks through the pro circuit, and Armstrong is the latest in that line. The fact that Russell, who led the world rankings heading in, finishes second here, and Webster takes bronze, tells you how deep that system runs. There's no guarantee which American wins on a given day, because on a given day, any of them can. What comes next for Armstrong is the real question. A 12.53 win in a final of this quality puts her name firmly in the conversation for any major championship. The World Athletics Championships will be the benchmark. If she runs with the same composure there, with a clean race from lane to finish, she'll be a genuine medal contender. The open question is whether that form holds when the competition is deeper and the pressure is heavier. She's answered it once here. She'll have to answer it again. Russell, for her part, will be fine. Athletes who lead the world rankings don't lose their ability in a single race. She'll reset, work on the barrier consistency at the back half, and come back. The 12.69 she ran here, even with the hitches, is competitive. The frustrating thing for her won't be Armstrong winning. It'll be knowing she was on pace to win herself for 4 hurdles, and then the race slipped. That's the event. 10 barriers over 100 meters. You can be better than everyone else in the field and still not win if you catch one wrong. Armstrong caught none. That's why she's the champion.